Hey guys, Marlon here from Games and Warriors channel, and before I get started, I want to give a special thanks to Nintendo of America for providing both of these games, Fire Emblem Birthright and Conquest, okay, for review. So this is my live review, and this is something that I will be doing in the future to come, especially with the other Nintendo games that I will be receiving. So special thanks again to Nintendo for doing this. I love these two games. They're really awesome. Considering that I am brand new to Fire Emblem, this is my first time playing Fire Emblem, any Fire Emblem game at all. But before I get started on the review, I just want to say that it's worth it. It's worth it. Either way you go, if you purchase Birthright, which is a more traditional way to play the game, and it unlocks more as you go along, and it gives you more rewarding features. Whereas Conquest, it forces you to battle, and the battle is a lot harder. So let's hop off into story. Now, the story of this game is amazing, okay? Like, we know about Fire Emblem and how the story in Fire Emblem is always engaging, always interesting, and the story just blew me away. So for a lot of people that's been under a rock and don't really know what's been going on with the story, just know that two kingdoms, okay, are battling together over you, all right? So Corrin, you basically play as Corrin, of course, and you have the Oshido kingdom, and you have the Norn kingdom. So basically, what's going on is you're basically from the Oshido kingdom, and you were stolen by the Norns, and you were raised up by them. And yeah, that's pretty much really, without getting too much far off in the story. I don't really want to spoil it for people because it's so good. Now, there's 3 different versions of the game. Okay, so you have Birthright, you have Conquest, as well as you have Revelation. Now, Revelation is a whole different game comparing to Birthright and Conquest. So that gives you a whole different experience. Nothing to do with Conquest or Birthright, like I mentioned. So once you get to chapter 6 of Birthright, then it opens up, where the game opens up pretty much, and you kind of understand what's really going on in the story. So basically, once you get there, it tells you to choose between Birthright, Conquest, or Revelation. Okay, so you can pick either one of those games or whatever if you have the special edition. Now, if you have the special edition, then you can choose Revelation, because Revelation is an additional DLC that will be available in March. So March 10th is when you will be available. It will be available to the public for you to go ahead and play Revelation. But I would say to start off, go with Birthright, because to grind and everything, it's so much better. Like it opens up a lot more. I feel like battle wise, items, it's just a lot more rewarding. You can level up more. Conquest, it's a lot more harder. Like, Conquest is really, really hard. There's 28 chapters in each game, except for, I haven't really touched up on Revelations as much, but just know that Birthright is the way to go. Okay, if you're thinking about going with Conquest, you're going with the Norn side of things, and Norn, we know that Norn is fighting Oshido, and yeah, it's just a roller coaster, man, of a story. Like, it's really, really awesome. I'm not gonna give away too much as far as what happened between chapter 5 and 6. Just know that when Corrin transforms into that dragon form, I was going crazy. I was like, wow, this is really amazing. I was just blown away, but I'm not going to say what happened before he transforms into the dragon form. Just know that it's just amazing, hands down. Like, I recommend you guys picking up all 3 of them if you can, because I know the special edition is sold out. Okay, the special edition is sold out, so I think basically your only option here is on the 19th is pick up Birthright or Conquest, or pick up both of them and you'll have Revelation available in March. I think March 10th. So I really want to touch up on the gameplay. Okay, so the gameplay is really amazing. I mean, it's basically traditional Fire Emblem. If you played Fire Emblem Awakening, it's basically the same thing. But it's more, I feel like, I don't know, it's a little bit more beefed up from what I understand. But it's definitely fun. And Birthright, when you play Birthright, the game basically sets you up to where you have to pair up with, you know, your fellow troops. Now, when they die, I mean, that they die for good, and then that's it. Okay, so you either have to go ahead and try to restart the game or continue without them. So once they die, that's it. Okay, they're dead, and then you have to move along there. So that's one important thing that I really want to point out there for people, is that when you're fighting and you're fighting with your fellow troops, just know that when they die, and there are some cases where everybody died and it's just me, you know what I mean? And I just got through just by the skin of my teeth. But just know that the game forces you to pair up at times, because you can't fight alone. If you do fight alone, you got to make sure that you're level up correctly and things of that nature. But the gameplay is just amazing. Okay, so a new mode, or a new feature, I should say, is introduced to Fire Emblem Fates, is the My Castle mode. So it's basically the multiplayer side of things, I guess. And this is also where you meet up with the amiibos. Like, so you have, I believe, Lucina, Robin, Ike, and Marth. Okay, and so you can battle them. You can battle the amiibos, or you can recruit them. So that's something that's really amazing there. Another thing is when you pair up, okay, and attack different enemies, you have to be very careful what you're doing. I forgot to mention that. You have to be very careful who you're pairing up with, because you have the person that, I guess, you know, casts the spell to heal you or whatever. So you kind of have to pick somebody that, you know, that their level of attack is very strong, because I noticed that a lot in the game. As you guys can see right now, I don't have a 3DS capture card. I wish I did, but you see the beautiful presentation of the cutscene. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's amazing. I'm blown away. This is by far the best looking game on the 3DS. So I just wanted to show that off because I had it playing in the background. So yeah, let's just continue here with what I was saying with the gameplay. So the gameplay, you have to be very careful on who you pair up with. And you know, depending on who you pair up with, they might die, or you might die, and then you have to start over the game there. But 28 chapters in the game. And it's about 40 hours for Conquest, and I think almost around the same for Birthright. But it's worth it. It's worth it picking up both of them, just so that you can actually see both sides of the story. And I don't want to spoil the story, like I said, for anyone, but I want you to play it for yourself and see. But the story is very good. And, you know, you were captured when you were much younger, when you were like a baby or something. And so you don't remember what, you know, who is your true family, if it's the Oshido kingdom or if it's the Norn kingdom. So remember, you were raised by the Norns, and your bloodline is basically the Oshido kingdom. But the opening part of the game, when the game opens up with you have Xander from the Norn kingdom, and I forgot what the other guy's name, the samurai guy. I forgot his name right now. I can't think because I'm talking. But just know that part right there was just epic in the beginning when you start fighting there. And that's just impressive, the way how the game opens up and kind of explain about your family. And both sides, either way, they show you love, but it's kind of confusing as you get along, but the game opens up a lot more. So basically, the My Castle mode, like I was mentioning, is basically an area that allows you to interact with allies and build stronger relationships, as well as, you know, with the amiibo feature, where you could put any of the Fire Emblem amiibos in there, battle with them, and also recruit them as well. Now, the sound in this game is impressive, okay? The sound in Fire Emblem Fates, I really, really love the attention to detail when it comes to the sound. Every hit, everything to do with the voice acting, very incredible. I mean, I have to take off my hats to Intelligent Systems. They really, really put in a lot of work, and I really do love it. Okay, so after we go around with the sound, let's go with the controls. Now, the controls in the game is very well put together. I will say it took me a little while to get used to the strategic gameplay aspect of the game, but once you start continuing more and more and more and more and more, then it opens up, and then the controls will feel, you know, a little bit more loose. But yeah, it takes some little time getting into it because, you know, for me, it's my first time playing Fire Emblem. And yeah, so it took me a little while to kind of get used to the controls. But overall, controls are really, really amazing. The next thing here is, this has to do with the graphics that I forgot to mention. But the graphics is just amazing. Like I said, the best 3DS game, best looking 3DS game, hands down. Like it looks amazing. The cutscenes, the in-game gameplay, and everything just looks beautiful. Now, when you turn on the 3D effect, I noticed that it's I don't know, it's like a little bit glitchy when you turn on the 3D effect. So the 3D effect at times can make the game look a little fuzzy. I don't know if it's the 3DS that they send me, but the 3D functionality, when you turn it on, there's certain segments where the game looks jitty, like it's jumping or something like that. But I had it focus on me because, you know, the new 3DS, you have that head motion capture there, which is really, really good. But overall, I would say if you have to choose one between Birthright and Conquest, I would say to go with Birthright because, I don't know, Birthright is just a better way to go in my opinion because you unlock more, you can level up more. There's so much more that you can do in Birthright. Conquest, it's a lot more harder, and it forces you to really pay attention to what you're doing as far as the battles are concerned. And it's, of course, the Northern side, so it's definitely, yeah, the bad side. But yeah, and so you have to be careful, like I said, pairing up, teaming up with your fellow troops and stuff like that. And overall, I will say that this game, both games, for me, gets a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. I will give both of these games. They're really, really amazing. The reason why I haven't given the game a perfect 10 is because of that annoying 3D effect. Like, I don't know what it is that kind of, and it's both versions of the game. I don't know, maybe it's something with the 3D effect on the 3DS. I don't know what it is, but I just want to tell you right now that either side you go, you're gonna have a great time with Fire Emblem Fates. The game comes out February 19th, okay? And just know that you're gonna have a hell of a ride, okay? A hell of a ride. It's amazing either way. Presentation, like I said, amazing. Story, it opens up, I would say, like between 5 to the 6th chapter. And when you get to the 6th chapter, that's when you have to choose whether you go Birthright, Conquest, or Revelation. Okay, if you have the special edition, that's when you get Revelation because everything is on one cartridge. Now, that wraps up the review. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments down below and let me know what you think about this review. But like I said, without spoiling too much of the story, yes, it's just amazing story, and I love the fact that they released 3 different versions of the game, so you can choose which side that you want to go with. And I know when Corrin was introduced in Smash Brothers, I know that it was something to do with, you know, promoting Corrin for this game, or, you know, promoting Fire Emblem Fates. But thank y'all so much for staying tuned to the live review, and I will be doing this in the future with all the other Nintendo reviews or any other reviews as well. So thank y'all so much for staying tuned, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thank you, Nintendo, once again for sending me Fire Emblem Birthright and Conquest for review, and the game both of them gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me. Peace. Thank you so much for staying tuned.